welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching my very first episode of Noteworthy Knits. I really wanted to do a series of reviews on knitting patterns, but honestly, the knitting world is actually a really small community, like the fiber world. If you knit, crochet, weave, sew, all of that stuff it's actually a really small community. And so I didn't feel right about doing reviews. I wanted to do more highlights of patterns I really, really like. So that way I'm not icking someone else's yum or stepping on any toes. Because I think a great example is continental versus English in terms of knitting, or for anything, some people really like to knit sweaters in the round, top down. That's it. Other people like to knit them flat, front and then back, and then you seam them together. So I don't really care about that stuff, but people have opinions and they're not wrong to have opinions. So this is my series kind of highlighting knits that I have done and that I really, really enjoy. One is going to be the pattern itself. So how well is it written? Is it size inclusive? That sort of thing. Does it link tutorials? How user-friendly is the pattern? 2, I want to rate the knitting itself. So, a good example for sweaters is how does it increase? How does it do its increases? Or, do you do the sleeves separately? How is the neckline? Just the knitting details themselves and how enjoyable it is to do them, and how much time it might take. And then 3rd, of course, is the finished product. Do I like it? Do I like the way it looks? Do I think other people like the way it looks? La-di-da-di-da. So for my first noteworthy knit, I wanted to do something special to me. If you've been following me, I got to do a test knit this summer, and it was for Ola Knitworks, and of course for all the patterns I review. I will be linking everything below because I'm a huge fan of the knit if I'm doing a noteworthy knit about it. So I want to give credit where credit's due. And I got to test knit this sweater. It's her first design she's released, which is really exciting. And it's called the POV Pullover. Here's the finished product. Ta-da! And it's just great in all the ways. That's also another reason why I wanted to start with this, is because it was just a great experience from start to finish. So first, let me put this up. First is actually going to be about the pattern itself. The pattern is so user-friendly. She links every tutorial you can imagine into the PDF itself. So you are at a step and you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this increase. You click it, it takes you to YouTube, you do it, you learn it, and then you go back to the pattern. It's great. The other thing I really like about the pattern is how size inclusive it is. It goes from size, I don't know, to size, I don't know. It's just amazing how inclusive this pattern is. And so I just think that's a really cool thing for a designer to do. And then last but not least on this point is the images, the imagery she uses within the pattern itself. She has pictures of the sweater at every different point. So if you're not sure if you're doing it right or if it looks right, she's got a picture for you. Second is the knit itself. It's a pretty basic stitch pattern in terms of a sweater. There's no color work. You're just alternating 2 colors, but it's really interesting because you're doing rows of pearls and then rows of knits, but the color you do pearls and knits for switches for the sleeves, which is why it's called the POV sweater. It's the point of view sweater, because depending on how you're looking at it, you're gonna see either the red bumps, the red pearls popping out, or on my sleeves, for example, you'll see the beige pearls popping out. So it's a really interesting knit, and I also think she does really, really cool increases that look really nice on the finished product. And I've never done them before either. It was a brand new technique for me. So I found it simple enough that you could easily grasp it, right? It's 2 colors. You decide your 2 colors, and it's knits and purls with a little bit of fun increasing added in. And I think it was really cool. I had never done this kind of increase before, and I love how it looks. It's just so cool. Yeah, which leads me into the final topic, is the finished product. So, I mean, I love mine, obviously. I actually think I want to make another one. No pressure, but I do. But genuinely, I have not seen a single sweater that has been knit up yet that looks bad. Not a single one. Like, I think this just looks good no matter what. You can do bright colors. You can do like toned down colors like me. You can do earth colors. You can do rainbows. You can alternate like a solid and a colorful one. People have done that already. It just looks good no matter what you choose. And I think it's so cool. And it's really accessible. The designer calls it a good sweater for an adventurous beginner. And I totally agree with her. I think it's awesome. I think the only thing beginners might want to look out for is that it is like smaller yarn, so it's going to take longer to knit up. But I still think it's honestly a great sweater. If you're so determined, if you're a beginner and you are so determined to knit a sweater, this is the one for sure. So yeah, that's my first noteworthy knit. I'm gonna wear it now. Like, look at this. How cute is this? Like, on this, the beige is popping, right? But on this, the red is popping. And it's just so cute. It's got a little boat neck, which I actually adjusted mine a little bit. I made it a little bigger because it was tight. So that is one adjustment I made. And then the other adjustment I made is, like, the length of it. I wanted it to be a little longer. It's technically a cropped pattern. So, yeah, I wanted it a little longer. It's a great pattern. Really, really would recommend it. And thank you again for watching my first noteworthy knits. I think I'm really excited about this series. I have all kinds of patterns that I've done and I absolutely love. So, and shout out to Ola for letting me be a test knitter. I think it was a great experience and she's a lovely person. And my dogs are now ready for dinner. So thank you so much. Subscribe if you want some more, and I'll see you later.